till November when the Republican Party, I think I met one Christian Democrat, have you? When the Republican Party wipes them out. Wait till November. Wait till November. I don't care how many ballot boxes there are. I don't care how they try to cheat. Wait till you see what happens. So I pray, Lord, why have you led us in this way? Why did you let that freak steal the election? Why did you do this? And once I tell you why, you're going to agree with me. The Lord took me to the Bible, and Jesus' disciples came up to him and said, God, Jesus, why was this man born blind? Was it the sins of his father and his mother that made him blind? And Jesus said, no, that's not why this bad thing happened. The reason this bad thing happened is that to show God's manifestation. There's nothing we could have done about it. Not at all. Yeah, he stole it, because now, little Hitler, we are going to show you God's manifestation.
Well, that's old Dog the Bounty Hunter, you know, the famous Dog the Bounty Hunter at some so-called Christian event back then in 2022, talking about the wait till November and the Democrats and them are going to get wiped out, and it's nothing but a hate fest, as we talk about with these groups, and we'll get more into them groups later. But for those of you who are unaware of Dog the Bounty Hunter, that's a quick bio of him. He had his own show there, him and his wife and his sons and them, where they go and catch people that skipped bail and didn't show up for court. And then he would go and track them down. And he became really famous when he tracked down the son, Andrew Luster, or so of Max Factor, the makeup line that was taking advantage of women out there on the beach front. And matter of fact, he gets out this upcoming year based upon some law and him going back and getting his sentence reduced. But that's a whole nother story. But the point I want to make on this particular message is this. Listen to me clearly. If you run across anybody on YouTube, any pastor, any Christian leader that is preaching the midterm elections that will be coming up, this is what they preaching. God told me about the midterms. God showed me about the midterms. God showed me about this particular politician. It centers around one particular party, it centers around one particular person or various people or the heirs to the next presidency, and they're preaching these types of things. Guess what? I hate to be the bearer of bad news. They're a false teacher, period. They are a false teacher. These folks are not tuned into God. They're tuned into demons, and many of them are just speaking out of their own heart and their vain imaginations. That's what they're doing. Because never did Jesus set the disciples down and say, you know, I want you guys to prepare for the midterms. Prepare for this next election coming up, because this is going to change your life in some kind of way. The Caesar and all of the kings and various people will change your life for the better in such a way that spiritually, they're going to, that's what I mean. So, because what these people have done, they, as we say, they've placed their focus on the kingdom of this world. What are you so focused about some midterms for? As if your life, your spiritual life is predicated on the midterms. Are you serious? And then if it doesn't happen, then it's, oh my gosh, woe is me. Oh, this other party is in power now, and all hell's going to break loose, and I'm doomed. You see what it's about? This is nothing but the enemy. Spirit of confusion, hopelessness, fear, things that are not of God. God didn't give us a spirit of fear and all of this doom and gloom and hopelessness. And these people have they're listening to these self-appointed prophets, pastors, Christian leaders. They're listening to this stuff. And they're putting their hope in their words. instead of having the hope in Jesus. You know, it's like I tell my kids and I tell them all the time, you know what, and anybody else as well, but I've planted this in them. If God has got something for you, no demon in hell can stop it. Whatever he has, he will order your steps. Nothing can stop the plan of God. So when people set up and put up this narrative that somehow Satan, they're putting this narratives out here that Satan has this great power to where he can just take God's plan and throw it out the window in your life. No, he can't. He's not all powerful as our God. He's not all omniscient and all knowing. We serve a God that's in total control of this world and total control of everything. As little kids, if they would sing the old song, he has the whole world in his hands. And there's nothing no demon in hell can do about it. So don't set up and listen to these types of people that will discourage you, that will have you sleepless at night, living in all types of fear, have you doing wild and weird things. And unfortunately for some, where they will start taking their monies and dumping it into fake, investments and different things because the prophet told you so. Don't you get caught up in that and be made a fool out of. Don't you do it. Don't you listen to these crypto prophets. Don't do it. I'm warning you right now. Do not do it. You work too hard for your money, all of us. And there's several of these prophets out here, and some of you may know, people have lost money listening to them. Don't you do that. Don't you go take some type of financial, even because what they try to do is they try to be slick. Well, I'm not a financial advisor, whatever, but they throw their butt in there. And don't you do it. Don't you get caught up in that and mess around. We all, for those of us that work, those of us that have saved, those of us that's what little bit we have. And for many of us, it's not much, but don't be foolish and give your monies away to something where you're going to lose what all you got listening to somebody that is not sent by God and somebody that is just telling you they're a mouthpiece for Satan. It's what they are. So these people, that's what they are. They are the mouthpieces for Satan out here because Satan wants you to focus on the kingdoms of this world as he took Jesus to the pinnacle of the mountaintop and showed him everything. That's what these people do. That's what they're doing. Their enemy is using these self-appointed prophets, pastors, leaders, Christian leaders, so-called Christian leaders or whoever, because they're all self-appointed as far as I'm concerned. The ones that teach these types of things, they're teaching false doctrine. They're teaching all types of things that are not scripturally based. And they're self-appointed. They haven't been called by God. They have been sent by the enemy to deceive. So he's placing the kingdoms of this world in front of the YouTube audience. He's placing it out there with this smiley person. They smile. As I talk about, they bring their wives on, their kids on. They make it seem, even their pets. They do it all. All to just get your guard down. And you will say, oh, they're so sweet. Oh, they're so humble. Oh, they have the fruits of the Spirit. Knowing that this is the thing, we know that Satan can masquerade himself as an angel of light. He can perform. What did the magicians? They could perform false miracles and all of the various things. These folks are hearing from demons. They're speaking and leading people astray. Anybody, hear me as I close this. Anybody, you need to flee from these types of people. Anyone that's preaching midterm talk, I heard a word about the president as far as who's going to be the next president, any types of politics. I heard a word about that, anything related around politics, anything like that, all of these various things. And don't even get me started with the ones that, they somehow, the Iran war all of a sudden. It's just so, I've got this word about the war. And and as you think about this, I was just thinking about it as I've talked to people over the years that are some that are dying, some that are in bad shape, and having them try to minister to someone when maybe they lost, for example, a woman that I knew in a nursing home when I was chaplain there, and her grandson was talking on his cell phone and wasn't paying attention and got hit by a bus and was in a coma and was all messed up and didn't think he was going to make it. And she was so depressed. And she said she didn't have anyone to talk to. And I would come by and talk with her daily, and as I made my rounds and try to just comfort her and give her peace in some kind of way. And finally, one day, I come through, and she said, guess what? He woke up from the coma, and he's going to be okay. And I said, praise the Lord. And when we prayed and we talked, and what good is some type of these self-appointed prophets and these people you see online and things, they're telling you about, the war thing, or I saw a bridge collapse, or I saw this big fire, or all of these different things. How is that going to help somebody like that lady I just talked about? As she's sitting there grieving, thinking her grandson's not going to make it. You're going to be like, hey, let me tell you, I did have this vision last night about the ships going through the Hormuz, or wherever the strait, whatever you call it, where this Iran stuff, or hey, the Lord has shown me 2027, just get ready to be this particular politician. What good is that going to do you in your dire straits, in your times of need, when you just are crying out to the Lord? It's not going to do you any good. That's why your focus needs to be up above on the one. As we continue to run the race, keep our eyes focused on him. Many of you, we're going to get there. We're getting close to that finish line for many of us. We don't know when the day, our time is up. And every day that we live is another day closer to getting to him. But you want to finish this race. You want to finish it strong. Yes, we struggle. Yes, we fall. We get back up. We dust ourselves off. But I'll be darned if I'm going to let some false teacher or teaching take me and just throw me off to the side, out of the race, out of the battle, off the battlefield, where the enemy has got me and my family destroyed, and he can have that laugh. But you know what? We're going to smile because Jesus, we want to please him. We want to get to cross that line, get our crown, receive, and hear those words. Well done, thou faithful servant. That's the most important thing. More than anything else in this crazy world we live in. You continue to do that. I'll continue to fight and stand with you. We'll continue to pray together, stand strong, continue to call out these that are misleading folks and taking people off on all types of different paths. Evangelism for God's a channel where we talk about issues the church run away from, tackle Satan and his tactics, punch him right in between the chops. My name is Maurice Braxton. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.